The 2021 anime year has come to a close, and this year will go down in history for being one of the best years for anime. And comparing this year to last year, only one or two series last year would potentially make my top 10 favorite anime this year. So grab your pitchforks and torches for my controversial opinion on this year's best anime. And without further ado, I am Tiago with Attack on Tiago, and for today's video, I'll be going over my picks for the top 10 anime of 2021. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified on my latest videos. And also, be sure to check out my community Discord server. It is rapidly growing. The link is in the description below. Now, I just have to say a few things before we start. Obviously, I didn't see every anime that came out this year. I am not that crazy. So I'm only judging off the ones I have seen. Also, I like to give newer series more credit than sequel seasons, since with sequels, the characters and everything were already established. But with new anime, they have to establish that new foundation for us. Lastly, this was a very hard list to make, so there will be some that may surprise you for not being on here. So just remember that this is my thoughts, and if you disagree, let me know your top 10 in the comments. Starting off at number 10 is Mushoku Tensei. Now, this is far from the first time I've talked about Mushoku Tensei on this channel, but if you do not know what it is, I will enlighten you a bit. Mushoku Tensei follows Rudius, who has been reborn into a fantasy world as a baby. And from there, it's his journey and growth that we follow as he meets new comrades and faces new foes. And it sounds like a typical isekai, because in a way it is a typical isekai anime. But what Mushoku Tensei does so well is its world building and its character progression. The storytelling from essentially a character from baby to where he is now is certainly great to see, and it makes it one of the best isekai of recent years. At number 9 is Nomad, Megalo Box Season 2. Picking up years later after the events of the first Megalo Box, Joe, the main character, lost against a second champion and has lost many of his comrades and team. He now fights in the underground matches under the name Nomad, but ends up getting connected with someone named Chief, who's trying to purchase land where he and a community live illegally. Megalo Box Season 2, in my eyes, is an improvement on the original, diving deeper into Joe's character and seeing him at his lowest. The story is also very engaging and powerful, and even though it cuts back on the fighting from Season 1, it more than pays off in the character and story department, which makes it a success. Next at number 8 is the sci-fi military anime 86. Years ago, the Empire of Gilead has declared war on the nations with these mechanized drones called Legion. Threatened by this, the Republic of San Magnolia evacuated its citizens into 85 districts and have had no casualties. But that is due to the citizens of the non-existent 86th district dealing with them. The anime deals with a lot of heavy topics involving race, segregation, and war, and the impact it has on a population. The animation, especially during the CGI-filled Legion fights, are actually quite impressive, and this is an anime that definitely starts slow, but with a lot of information dumps, but gradually gets better and better to the point that now in Season 2 it is running on full cylinders. I highly recommend checking this one out.
戦い、生き抜けと信じてくれた。
At number 7 is Giguk's pick for Best Anime of the Year, Odd Taxi. Odd Taxi follows Otokawa, who lives in a pretty normal life driving a taxi cab. But after a case of a missing girl leads the police to tracking him, Otokawa gets caught up with the Yakuza, corrupt cops, and many more individuals. Odd Taxi combines the best elements of both Baccano and Beastars, two acclaimed anime, and it makes it a very entertaining anime. The storytelling is one of the best of the year. All the characters feel very realized and relatable. And the ending is one of the best endings for an anime this year as well. I highly recommend checking this unpredictably fun conundrum out.
というわけでね、この練馬区の方で女子高生が行方不明になったということなんですけども。
ね、怖いね。いや、もう無事にね。
Just outside the top 5, and at number 6, we have Vivy, Fluorite Eye's song. In Vivy, we follow, well, Vivy, who is his first ever autonomous AI, and is currently working in a theme park. Suddenly, an advanced AI from the future lets her know that in 100 years, AI will eradicate mankind. So it's up to Vivy to embark on this 100-year journey to prevent the bloodshed. Vivy is a spectacular series. From its characterization of Vivy, this AI, and seeing her growth and journey through time was beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, oh my, the animation. Some of the best animation I have ever seen. Easily should win the Best Animation of the Year awards. And all of that makes for one of the best of the year. We have now reached the top 5, and starting off the top 5 is an anime I bet many have not heard of. It is Link Click. Link Click follows two friends who work at a studio, and together they can enter photos and relive events of clients and find out missing information. But one wrong move and they could alter the future of the person. Link Click is a Chinese anime, which is rare to come by nowadays since Japanese anime are just that much more popular. But Link Click deserves attention. The storytelling and pacing is insane in this anime. Every episode glues you to the screen and takes you on a wild roller coaster ride where you can't let go. And I don't think I've ever seen an ending song used so well in an anime. With its unpredictability and amazing intense scenes, Link Click is a must-watch. Coming in at number 4 is the world phenomenon Attack on Titan final season. Picking up many years after the events of Season 3 Part 2, our focus takes us on the Eldians, living on Paradise Island. But peace doesn't last long, as Eren and the Scouting Corps make their move as they finally see a world beyond the wall. Despite the studio change, I think MAPPA still delivered on an amazing Attack on Titan season. We see new sides of our main cast that we haven't seen before, as they start embracing the cruelty of this world and its inhabitants, especially with the main character, Eren. His change from Season 1 to where he is now has been truly a sight to see, where he's almost unrecognizable now. Attack on Titan has truly cemented itself as one of the classics, and I'm hoping the manga is adapted well in the final season Part 2 next month. Now at number 3, we have the continuation of my favorite isekai, Re:Zero Season 2, Part 2. Picking up after Part 1, we have the culmination of Subaru's dilemma with the trials and the sanctuary, as he is trying to somehow save everyone in the sanctuary, but also find his friends at the mansion, and at the same time put a stop to Roswaal and Echidna. Despite me liking Attack on Titan more than Re:Zero overall, I found this season of Re:Zero better than Attack on Titan season this year. Subaru continues to be a character that is really growing on me. Also, the cast this season was truly phenomenal. Garfield and Roswaal in particular had excellent backstories explained this season, and so many mysteries about the past finally were answered. I loved every second of Re:Zero this season. Now coming in at number 2 was an anime that was number 1 for majority of the year, and was number 2 for most anticipated of the year for me, and that is To Your Eternity. To Your Eternity follows a being named Fushi, who was cast down as an orb onto Earth, and there it slowly evolved and took on multiple forms, until it finally took on the form of a boy. And from there, we follow Fushi's journey of growth as it begins to learn and adapt to this newfound world and its people. By the same creator of A Silent Voice, To Your Eternity is also an emotional masterpiece, with the very first episode being maybe the best first episode of an anime I've ever seen. It laid the groundwork for what to expect in the series. I made a video going more in depth on To Your Eternity upon its release, and it's linked in the top right. But along with its amazing development for our main character, and the rest of the characters also being enjoyable in their own right. Unfortunately, the last arc of the season is definitely the weakest, especially compared to the earlier arcs. But that doesn't stop To Your Eternity from being one of the greats.
知らない人に親切にしてもらったらありがとうって言わないとダメよ。言える？ほら、ありがとうって。
And finally, coming in at number 1 is a newer anime that is still airing right now, and just so happens to be the anime which studio left Attack on Titan for. It is called Ranking of Kings. This anime tells you the story of a prince named Boji, who's next in line to be the king of a kingdom. And when you're king in this world, you are ranked against everyone by order of skill and power. And frankly, Boji has zero strength and happens to be deaf. And because of that, he's ridiculed and made fun of by everyone in the town and the court. Ranking of Kings reminds me of the classic Studio Ghibli movies, or even some of the classic Disney movies. And like those, I think this is a masterpiece classic in the making that will be talked about for years. The lore, world building, and characters are so excellently written and fleshed out, even making us attached to a shadow blob. And then with Boji, oh my gosh, I don't know if I've ever rooted for a character so much before. He is so lovable and strong at the same time, as he hides his emotions from the people who ridicule him for being weak and deaf. This anime encompasses the best of the year when it comes to everything we've seen, and it is my choice for Best Anime of 2021.
当てた。避けて当てたぞ。やるじゃねえか。
Well everyone, that is it for the video. If you guys have a different opinion on Best Anime of the Year, let me know in the comments down below. And also be on the lookout for the next video, which is Best Characters of 2021. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot. I am Tiago with Attack on Tiago, and I hope you all have a nice day.